Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're well. It's Dr. O. Beautiful day. I have got my coach's baseball cap on. I thought I'd put this on today. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous day out there. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about a subject which to me is very important. Why? Let me get my microphone a bit closer. Because people are putting off what they need to be doing today. And they're putting it off till I don't know when. And it's not just, I run events. Obviously, we do stuff on property. So I'm seeing a shift in people's mindset. I've been doing this probably longer than most people in this particular field in this country. And I've been speaking generally in public now for over 35 years. So I get to see patterns in human beings. And one of the fascinating things that's been happening in the educational market, i.e. talking to people, and people have an aspiration to do something and make a change in their life, but when it comes to actually making a decision to do it, they're not doing it. And so it's a hugely, let's just say it's a growing concern for me watching it, because it's a result of the circumstances and the environment in which people are living at the moment. Meaning that, yes, I think people want to make change. Yes, I think people want to improve their financial situation, maybe their relationship. They want to start a business. They want to change from being stuck in a frigging job, being controlled by the government, and when we can go out, when we can't go out, when we can go back to work, how we go back to work, what we wear when we go back to work, and all that stuff, which I'm not going to go into because I have very strong opinions about this. More that concerns me most is that if you get subject to something enough, if you hear something enough, if you start to live in an environment or a set of circumstances around you, and you experience it enough times, and your body absorbs it, you literally become that which you live in. That's why if you've read my Turning Point book, you'll know that one of the 6 steps to change is actually changing your environment. And there's 2 environments to change. There's the internal environment and there's the external environment. And unfortunately, the external environment is having a fucking huge impact on people's lives at the moment. So I want to talk about what I'm seeing and what I think are the 5 reasons people they're just not making decisions. I've been teaching, for example, real estate for close to 20 years now, personal development for 30, 35 years. And the last time I saw this type of restrictive, apathetic, withholding, procrastinating behavior was 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, when we went through that recessionary period. So there are patterns to this. The difference here is the backdrop of COVID and the fact that it is really hammered into people's lives several things. For example, being on furlough for 6 months, 12 months, I'm actually noticing people's behavior changing. It's a little bit like when people lose their job. I used to do coaching, for example, with job centers and places like that about, going back a long time now, maybe 15, 20 years. And I noticed that people, when they first lost their jobs, were really like frustrated, want to get back in. They went to job centers to try and find out if they could get a new career or at least another job in a similar company, similar career. And I would go in and do a little bit of coaching. And aspirationally, they started off really driven. And I noticed after about 4 to 6 months, if they hadn't got a job, there was this really 2-dimensional thing happening. One is their confidence was knocked, but secondly, apathy was creeping in. I'd be interested to see if anybody can relate to what I'm talking about. Apathy meaning, or can understand this, meaning, you know what, I'm kind of at home at the moment. Every day's mine. They're stuck in front of the TV. Maybe they go out, go for a walk, whatever, but they just there's no sense of direction or sense of purpose. After 7 or 8 months, it was a bit like, they call it island fever in the Caribbean. You stay there long enough, everyone just chills. And I'm seeing that now with people who've been furloughed for 6, 8 months. It's like, you know what, we're furloughed till September or whatever. And by the way, there's going to be a huge cliff in September. There's like 9 million people currently furloughed. And like, they're all going to go back to work. No bloody way. So you can imagine what's going to happen coming to the back end of this year. We're going to go into a serious meltdown for a lot of people. So there's that huge backdrop to this. Plus, you've got controlling statements from the government. Let's just say there's information that could mislead or has maybe given people a sense of, oh shit, this is happening. So wear this, don't wear this, go here, don't go there. So people have conformed to this, like following a set of rules, like, it's like a police state. Now, when that happens and people are growing up in that environment, 2 things happen. People either kick back and say, fuck it, I want to break through, or they regress backwards and then go into this kind of conforming mindset. And I'm seeing an awful lot of that. So here's 5 things that, by all means, take a note of this if you want, if you're seeing it in people around you, or you're working, coaching, or dealing with other people. But these are 5 things. Now, I've just come off a weekend and I saw it in the audience that I was with. I've been seeing it for the last 2 or 3 months. Interestingly enough, back end of last year, start of this year, going right through till probably April, very different feel. People are just sort of like, start of the year, really aspirational. Now, as things have dragged on, particularly with the whole situation with COVID, it's really having an effect on people's mindset. And these are the 5 things I'm seeing. Number 1 is fear. That is probably the number 1 reason that people are not making decisions, not stepping up, not doing what they need to make changes to their circumstances. I am astounded when there are parents who want a better life for their kids, parents who for example, might come to a class and say, right, I want to learn about this subject. I want to start a business, whether it's trading the stock market or building a property business or launching a new online business, whatever it is. And at that point there, they have to invest in themselves further. Like you might need a business coach. You might need to specialize in that particular area, take some advanced classes or whatever it is, which you would do in any career you were doing. Or if you were starting to study a subject, like going and doing a degree, it is a natural course of human growth. If you look at the learning pit model, you go down before you come back up again. I mean, this is the growth mindset in education right now is something that's been really nurtured for children and for teachers, etc. And fascinatingly, parents are actually, I saw it this weekend. I said, you've got kids backing off and they're backing off. And I'm saying, but you need to make an investment in you now in order to grow, to be able to expand beyond you are. You can't shrink in a recession. You have to expand through a recession. And so their children will model them. I don't know if this makes any sense. Kids will model parents. So if you are someone who's a procrastinator, make excuses and come up with all sorts of whatever, for not making an investment in you, how can you ever expect your children, for example, to do that? Because they will model what you do. So this fear that's in people is really holding them back. And they're afraid, like, oh yeah, I'm going to leave my money in the bank. It isn't losing money in the bank. Money in the bank right now is actually losing money. 100 grand is worth less at the end of the year than it is at the start of the year, simply because inflation's eroding it. And parallel to that, you've got interest rates that are sub 0.5%. So it makes no sense to, logically as an investor, makes no sense to leave it there. And yet people are fearful and they're conditioned by old mindset. It's bloody scary to watch. And it's happening. So if you're listening, watching, or you've got friends that are in that place and you want to send this link to them, the message is this. You have to make the reason, I can't go into lots of detail now, but you have to make the reason why you want to do this bigger than the stop sign that's in your brain. The vision, that trail that's behind me, where's that leading? That future path has to be bigger. Second thing is apathy. It's just pure apathy. It goes back to what I've said already. Sun's out, summer's here, lockdown's being released. I've been locked away for the whole year. I've been okay because I've been paid sort of 80%, whatever it is, or my salary by my company, and I haven't had to work too hard, but it's been okay. Problem is, what's going to happen in 3 to 6 months' time? Brick wall, bang, juggernaut coming down the high street, however you want to call it. It's got the word recession, it's got the word coming out of COVID, and it's got furlough ending written on it. All of those things. Bang, bang, bang. Apathy is exactly the opposite to a sense of urgency. If you've ever gone into business with somebody, that one of the most frustrating things for me is a sense of apathy in another human being. We have 24 hours in a day. And in those 24 hours, we can make every hour magnificent. There can be times when we can relax, times when we chill out and watch a bit of TV or whatever it is you need to do to switch off, go for a walk, go into nature. And there's other times we need to engage the moment and live it and thrive and grow and expand. Apathy does not have its space in there. Yes, you can meditate and have some downtime, but even that is a conscious way to heal and relax your body. Apathy is just one of those things that right now is endemic. It seems to be really coming through people because also it's driven by, what can I do? I feel powerless. So it's easier to regress back to a sense of apathy. It won't work. Got to change that. Number 3, lack of vision. I think what's happened is, people would live, I used to say this, they would live year to year for a 2-week holiday. They would spend more time planning a 2-week holiday than they would their financial future. And I think the important thing right now is to not worry about a staycation or getting away, but actually think, right, if we can get this right now, if we can build a business or create a supplementary income, residual income, whatever it is, or change direction, write a book, whatever you want to do. What if I was to do that now and spend time working on that for the next couple of years? What would that do for my life in 2 years' time? What is the vision? People's vision has gone from out in the future to write to here, let's go away for a weekend, we need a break. Well, we've all had a break for a year. The difference is now it's like people can get out and have that break, which is fine. I think we all need that. But don't lose the vision. Don't drive to the next cone in the road. Drive to the future destination where you want to get to. Describe it in detail. Magnify it. Put color behind it. Where would you stay? Who would you go with? When would you get there? How would you travel there? Like first class, business class, economy class. Probably won't want to do that, so up the game. So these things have to happen. Without that vision, nothing's going to happen. But the problem is fear is stopping people even getting to the vision. This is literally the order that I'm seeing things in. If you want a sequence, this is what I'm seeing. So that vision has to be absolutely crystal clear. And people often say to me, but surely vision comes first. It does. But what I'm noticing is people are so fearful right now, so withdrawn. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Everybody needs to survive before they can thrive. Okay, the whole hierarchy of needs goes to growth and actualization at the top. That's what he referred to. But to get to there, you have to survive first, get connection with other people. So this whole thing about fear is just blocking even a sense of vision. And then you've got to break the apathy to then go, right, I'm out of my apathy. I mean, crikey, what does it take? An hour to sit down and write down what your vision is, and yet people are too fucking apathetic to even do that. So it has to change. And then we've got procrastination. So that's like, you know what? I'll just put it off. I'll do it tomorrow. We had a lot of people booked onto this weekend, close to 100. But then on the last day and the night before, a bunch of them went, it's sunny this weekend. I think I'm just going to buck off out into the sun and have a nice time, which is lovely. What they don't realize is I did something this weekend which I've not done before. So they missed out on an incredible opportunity. Those people that have lost out, and the ones that actually were there would have taken advantage of that. There's some really cool stuff happening out there. So the procrastination is a result of all of the above, plus a sense of, and this is, I think, the trouble with what's happened with lockdown is everyone's gone, okay, well, we can put it back a bit. We've lost a year, but we can just knock it down the road. My concern is that where the economy is going at the moment, some of the opportunities that we have right now may not be around in 6 to 8 months' time. There's always going to be opportunity. What I'm saying is the shape of them right now. And the truth is that if you have a habit of procrastinating at a small level and you keep perpetuating it, it's like watering a seed. It'll start to grow. And again, if you've got kids, what are we teaching our family? What are we teaching the people around us about how to grow and thrive if we are procrastinating, putting things off? So that has to stop. The whole concept of manana, you know what, we'll do it tomorrow. That has to change. Start putting noticeable daily actions in, small actions that move you progressively towards that. There's a lovely quote I used to use 25 years ago when I started speaking 30 years ago. It's like, success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. That came from a gentleman called Earl Nightingale back in the 60s, back in the 50s. Success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal. Not success is an end result. It doesn't work that way. And then finally, my partner, you don't understand. My partner's stopping me doing it. And then they direct, it's like, I'll just put the blame on somebody else. I can't do it because of my wife. I can't do it because of my husband. I can't do it because of my brother. I can't do it because of my mother. I can't do it because of my children. I can't do it because of my dog. I can't do it because there's a fly flying around in the room and I'll have to wait. They'll make up any bloody excuse. That has to stop. If your partner's got fears or any of the above, if your partner is living by a sense of absolute security, I need to hold on to what I want to hold on to right now, and they're not prepared to go and do the work or support you in what you're doing, you're going to have to do it anyway. You're going to have to literally get out and do what you've got to do, whether it's buying properties, raising money, getting people to come and join you on your business. If it's a network marketing business, writing a book, presenting videos like this, whatever it is, you are going to have to not worry about what other people think and what your partner thinks. This is your life. And yes, it's their life if they're with you. But what kind of person are you if you are not going to live by your vision and you're going to control what you want as a result of what their fears are? In other words, you live by their values and their fears. That's just shrink you down, and it will internally kill you in years to come. I mean, it just chews away at you. Right, I'm going to stop. I don't know if this makes any sense. Give me a wave if it does. I can see a few thumbs gone up, which is nice. Important message. I'm going to sign off there. And for anybody that may have a friend or family member or somebody that's kind of stuck in the mud a little bit, maybe show them this video, because I think these 5 things, and it might be that they recognize them and go, okay, what do I need to do next? And they're things you can do. If you go and look, I've got other videos to deal with anxiety, taking action, overcoming fear. But they are 5 of the key things that are stopping people right now moving forward in their lives, and they're getting bogged down with it. And nothing will change unless they make positive changes in one of these areas. It's Dr. O signing out. I'm going to go and enjoy the sun.